All right, folks, welcome to my breakdown of White Tiger. So White Tiger on my main account, I have it rank 2. I run her with armor penetration just because you'll see through this review, I will show how she hits like a truck, how she gains her critical rating very fast through her abilities, and I highly recommend the armor penetration. You're not going to be using her on defense a lot, so feel free to pick what stat focus you'd like. If you're using her as a 7-star, as a 6-star, obviously it will not matter. So let's go through a breakdown of her abilities. Her signature ability is called the Darkness Outside the Cave, which will basically inflict a fear passive, which reduces unblockable ability accuracy by 100% and will remove perfect block chance for 6 to 20 seconds, depending on the scaling of your ability level. And then you'll also, when either champion drops below 15% max health, White Tiger will gain a power gain buff, granting 100% of her max power, that being 3 bars, over 20 to 6 seconds, also depending on the scaling of your signature level. First, Power of God. She has the immunity to nullify, which is great for her kit because if you have the signature level, you don't have to worry about your power gain getting nullified. In her kit, you're not going to have to worry about her furies getting nullified, and it'll allow you to just gain how much power she has and how she will hit with massive critical damage. White Tiger also has a minus 70% chance to her offensive combat power rate, which is basically the power rate she gains when she hits into the opponent. But she will gain power equal to 50% of the power the opponent gains. And usually an opponent is always going to gain more power from you hitting them. So you gain basically back that power and a little bit more than if she had a normal offensive combat power rate. Next is going to be Strength of the Fighter. So when she is inflicted with a damaging debuff, per buff she has on her, she has the 20% chance to purify the debuff. When she dashes forward, she has that passive precision, which will grant her, in this case at rank 2, 3,800 critical rating for 2 seconds, and it is paused also during those special attacks, which allows her to grant those high damage combos. On your combo ending attacks, those being your second medium or your fourth light attack, you'll nullify a power gain or energize buff on the opponent. So great in cases when you're going against usually a cosmic defender, whether that be Serpent, Hyperion if you see him on defense, Venom Pool, and other cosmic champions that off the top of my head I cannot think of with power gain, but there's plenty that you'll see out there. Special attacks, she'll gain the Furies that I was talking about. You'll gain those for 20 seconds, and those are paused during special attacks and go up to a max of 5. For each personal's Fury buff, each hit power steals 1% of the opponent's current power, and White Tiger gains 200% of the power stolen. After triggering this effect, it goes on cooldown until the end of White Tiger's next special attack. So this is during her special attack that she will power steal. And once she finishes a special attack with at least 1 bar of power, she'll grant an unblockable passive for 1.5 seconds at a cooldown of 20 seconds. This usually will allow you to rush back in, and I'll show you that during my gameplay when we do that in a little while. So her special one will gain an additional Fury buff, which is nice, which again will increase that stack all the way up to those 5 Fury buffs that you're going to hit the max of. Her special 2 is what's going to give you the most damage. Final hit inflicts a bleed debuff, in this case at rank 2, just a little under 12,000 direct damage over 3 seconds, and it's paused while the opponent is indestructible. So if you're going against those pesky cosmic champions that have indestructible, you don't have to worry about your bleed doing nothing. While the bleed is active, the opponent cannot heal, and the healing is denied but is transferred to White Tiger up to 5% of her max health per second. Great against champions like Weapon X if you're going against him on defense, or even could be champions like King Groot. You don't usually see him on defense, but it's one of those examples that I can think of. After the bleed expires, you'll nullify all regen buffs on the opponent. Now, the special thing about White Tiger, which is okay, but is interesting, is her special 3 can only be used while she's charging or performing her heavy attack. So in this case, when you're in battle, your bar will go up to 2.99 and you'll always sit as a special 2. So you really won't have to worry about breaking into a special 3 if you are in a moment where you need to pause your fight or the opponent's hitting into your block. You don't have to worry about being pushed into your special 3. But if you were to do your special 3, you'll gain 2 additional fury buffs and it'll exceed the limit. So you can push beyond 5 up to 7 furies if you are in a long form combat battle. And you'll also inflict a fear on that ending of the special 3. Fear, as we talked about, gets rid of that ability accuracy of unblockable for the opponent and also removes their perfect block chance. So, let us go into the gameplay of White Tiger. So, White Tiger is one of those great champions for Battlegrounds once you get a feeling for her, and especially since right now, as I'm filming this is during Season 28, which is the Mystic season, where we are basically fueling off Mystic champions with their strikers. Excuse me for my internet being poor. So, let us show off how she works. I'll show 2 battles. I'll show her against Winter Soldier as well as against Captain Marvel. So, as we go in here, since I'm going to be playing around with stun, you'll see that you don't have to, obviously in not every mode you're going to be able to parry, go back, go forward because of things like Alliance War where you're going to have to play around stun immunity in some nodes. You'll see there I do the dash back, dash forward, pause the buffs, and allows myself to get a critical special 1. I'm going to do that again to gain 4, and now that'll allow me to, once I get to my special 2, will allow me to have a max of 5, but being able to have quick rotation. So I'm going to go in for a 4 to keep the crit alive, and you can see I'm also power stealing on that special 2 because I had the power gain ready. So I'm going to do one more combo and go back in for that high damage. That bleed is going to tick away a small bit. I had a bit of a mess up, so I'm not going to be able to get him down in that second special 2, but still a 1-minute fight, almost dead on the mark for White Tiger against Winter Soldier. And we'll see her with class advantage here against Captain Marvel. It'll kind of be the same gameplay, but again, she's great for Battlegrounds in going against small health pools of just for how much raw damage she has, even for rank 2. You'll see here I'm still going to go for that special 1 by going back and forward. We'll throw that, and you'll see I'm almost landing all of the critical hits. I only missed those last 2 at the end. I'm going to go in for another one, which is going to put me at 4. I'm going to try to bait out her special if I can. It would be pretty beneficial if I could. Yep. Great, and then we're going to do that. I am not going to throw my striker yet because I want to try to get to about halfway to my special 2. I can do that, go back and then forward, intercept her, do that. I lost the 5th Fury, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. We'll go again, and we'll go for a 4th, and she's dead. And you can see that was definitely a bit faster. Yeah, that was about 10 seconds faster with class advantage. Obviously, with Realm of Legends, it's a little easier than if you're going against Battlegrounds opponents, but with, luckily, Battlegrounds this season, it is not as bad with Mystic champions. White Tiger overall, great champion, and she's so unique compared to other Mystic champions in her class. She is definitely overshadowed by characters like Kushala, America Chavez, Juggernaut, Doctor Doom, etc., but still, she's a great champion to have part of your roster, and if you're looking for an interesting build, if you're a person who likes Hitmonkey in the skill class, that is how I would personally compare her. high critical damage, has a nice bleed on special too, can gain those Furies very fast, so even if you're having to deal with a Fury node, she's going to be a great way to have those basically areas checked off. And that's going to be my review for White Tiger. If you enjoyed my review, give it a subscribe, give it a like, and hope you enjoyed this breakdown. Thanks, guys.